What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Car Stuff. So, in this episode, I'm working on my Jeep Wrangler. Now, if you guys have had or haven't had a Jeep Wrangler, one of the issues with Wranglers and a lot of other Mopar stuff is they have horrible brake issues. They're not bad, it's just stupid. So, I've had to change a couple calipers on this thing just because calipers, they stick. And when they stick, you have brake issues. Car wants to pull and, stupid stuff. In this case here, I have brake line issues. So if your Jeep Wrangler is acting as if you're always on the brake, you get off the brake and then you get ready to move forward and it's still sitting there. You push the gas and you can feel it like trying to raise up, right? That is because you have pressure in the line. Let me show you what's going on here. So before we climb into this, let me show you, I got two lines just to be safe. In case I can't get this thing to act right, I'm just going to go ahead and put new lines on it. So I got the lines first. So you got a right and a left, right? There's a number on the one. I'm not sure if, what is this, right, left? I'm not sure. But there's a number on one. 50, 49. So there's a right and a left, of course. So here's what it is. This bracket right here on the inside of there, that metal bracket, I'm not going to open this bag because I'm going to return these. And these lines, these specific ones, are like $52 or something like that. But you see how that is open right here? That seam right there is open. That metal, what happens is as it gets old, it pinches the line, right? It gets rusty. And of course, that rubber line on the inside of there, it pinches that line. And then your fluid doesn't want to move through like it's supposed to. So they'll say you need to replace the line. Let me show you what I did to fix this. Now, you guys can do this, but do this at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do this, but this is what I did and it works. I've already put it together, took it out and drove it. I'm doing a couple other things right now, but I want to show you this, so I took it apart just to show you. So I have to put a stud in this thing. But this is what happens. Where'd it go? I just had it. Like I said, this bracket, it pinches closed because of the rust, right? And all I did was I took this grinder, this little cutoff wheel, and I just put a little cut in it. That's all I did. I didn't cut it all the way through. I just cut it down. Now this thing sits right here. Excuse me, I'm burping like hell again. I don't know why it waits till I get online to do that. But that sits in there like that. There's a bolt, there's a little screw that goes in here that holds that in there, right? So you take that screw out, this piece comes out. I did take the shock off the bottom just to move it out of the way because that shock sits right up against this and you won't be able to get it out of here. So I already moved the shock, pulled this out, and the hose is in there. So it sits just like this and it pinches that real tight. And that fluid doesn't want to move back through. So you'll push the brake, the fluid will come through the line out to the caliper, and then it won't want to release back through. So that you'll be sitting here with pressure on your brakes. You'll heat up your brake calipers, you'll heat up your rotors, you'll heat up your brake pads, and you'll just start smoking all your shit right here. And you don't want to do that. So if you're out and about and you pull over, if you can get this right here to open up, you'll be fine. I'm not saying take this whole thing off because I'm going to put this back together just like this. And of course, I'm going to bolt it back together. I'm going to put it back behind here, bolt it back together, and then I'll have my pressure issue solved. The brake line is not bad. There's no leaks. There's nothing wrong with the lines. It's just a rubber line. There's not like there's metal on the inside of it, but it just pinches it closed. So I'm going to put this back together, and like I said, I've already driven it, taken it out and drove it, but I wanted to take it apart so you can see the issue here, how that closes. And like I said, that's all I did. Now, if you don't have the tools on the side of the road or out in the terrain to cut this with a cutoff wheel, like I did, if you don't have that, you might just be able to pry this open, and that'll free you up some pressure, and then you can get back on the road. But if not, you don't trust it, you don't want to deal with it, you can take your brake line off, from here all the way down to your caliper and put new brake lines in. I just didn't want to do that because I'm doing this myself and I don't want to, you know, have to pump the brakes. I got another way to do it, but I just don't feel like bleeding the brakes and all that. So I'm doing this. And when the time comes, if I got to replace these hoses, I'll replace the hoses. But until then, I'm just doing this. It'll get by. So yeah, guys, think about that. Just take the pressure off your brake hose. That's all it is. And then you can be back on the road driving. It's just pressure. The line's not bad. If you have a caliper issue now, that's something completely different. If your caliper is sticking, that's one thing. But I've already put something in here, moved the caliper back, you know, like, you know, and push the brake and it pulls itself back out. You can push that real easy to you know, depress that. So yeah, it's not that hard, guys. Try that if you have a brake locking up issue. Let's see how it works for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Two hoses. Didn't put them on. I got one foot out. Not easy. So there you have it, guys. Worked like a charm. So I'm about to buff up these headlights now because they're just a little bit foggy. So till next time, guys, thanks for watching.
No time to catch up. It gotta be someone we trust. Gerald, truth be told, he really weird, but he calm as hell. And he's smart as well. Never failed. Coulda went to Yale. For this situation, I don't know. I can't really tell. If them bullet shells get to flying, will he prevail? Then there's Susie, she's as gangsta could be. She like CC, she like LV, so she gon' charge a fee. She not scared of nothing, that man, she bout it, she gon' tweet. Give your family something to do by the end of the week. We chose both, didn't pay Gerald, but we sure paid Susie. Scheduled to meet up with Louis. Bought a briefcase, fake bills on the bottom, real on the top. Gerald got camera glasses, that boy top notch.